Can you, by hand, in a speedy fashion, regrind your plane blades? This is the question, and you might be surprised by the results. Hi from Ben Construct. Let's explain quickly what we're up to. As you can see, the inefficiency of using a small block, and that's why we've got the big sheet of float glass, is you're only going to be able to use that area there without tripping off the side or the wheel falling off the back here. Hence, and so a long piece of float glass or slate for that matter is advantageous. Why we use float glass is because it's as flat as the Earth's surface, and the reason why it's called float glass is because it's the old system of making the glass, which was purely to pour it in a puddle and let the Earth's gravity flatten it, and accordingly it's cheap and flat, and if you burnish the edges it's not a high risk. Other materials such as slate and tiles can also be used. We've got a 2.5 foot long float glass, 1/2 inch thick, and prior to this we have impact adhesed a 40 grade sander off a belt sanding machine, and heavy grade micro finishing film. This is a 100 we've used, but it does tend to wear out quite fast, as does the sand. Now what's come up on my notice board is some heavy grade diamond sheets or plates, which are very thin. As you can see, they're only about 2.5 millimeters thin, and the intention is to stick them down to the plate here. We're going to give it a trial run, and if this should work out, we'll then buy another 2 plates here. We just want to find out how fast cutting that will be, and will it bring the time down to grind it, or by hand. If it does work, it'll mean you can get the whole setup here for 70 or 80 quid with the float glass. Okay, let's give it a roll and we'll see what happens. Micro finishing film, if you're not aware of it, is chosen over sandpaper for being faster cutting and having a little bit more longevity to sandpaper. But in comparison to diamonds, there isn't any. The diamonds are much more aggressive and very much faster. 3 different planes, 2 different steels. Block plane blade, 01 steel, coming in at just over 3 millimeters. Jack plane blade, nice thick bit of PMV 11. Super tough steel, coming in at just under 5 millimeters. And another smoothing plane blade, 01 steel again, coming in at just over 2 millimeters. Primary, what I'm looking at is the secondary burr is now getting on this plane blade too big, or it makes it too much slow work to actually grind back that. It's no longer a small tip, it's actually, especially this is a PMV 11, quite a hard or tough steel to grind back, but it's getting too big, and we now need to regrind the whole of the blade. Like this. The diamond plates have been welded to the float glass with a good old bit of contact adhesive, and it's all set to go. Looking at the braid then, there's about 1/3 I need to grind off. And after a massive 3.5 minutes, let's see what we've got. And that, my friends, is pretty much done. Now that was 01 steel. Let's give it a try on the tough PMV 11 from Veratus and see if it manages just as good on that. Might even order a couple more plates, but not that I need it. So here's a reasonable lump of the PMV 11. And let's see how much we've got to take off here. A sizable lump of metal to be doing by hand grinding. Quick size comparison between the 2 plates. Good bit wider, and thickness wise, substantial difference between the two thicknesses. And if I can't do this in under 10 minutes, it's all a failure and a waste of time. But I have my suspicions. We're on to a winner. Always a pretty good idea as you go. Keep a check on your angles, you're getting it just right. We're not far off there. Beauty of having a quality jig and a square. Nine minutes. We've got a respectable amount off, but not as much as we wanted. So this is the 10-minute mark, and let's see, we haven't made it, unfortunately, and that will almost certainly take 1 or 2 minutes more to get it to it. Okay, well, let's see how long it does take anyway. That's the 11.5 minutes up now. Let's have a look at this. And all bar the, well, pretty much is everywhere done there. Complete. I haven't quite taken it off the tip, as you can see there's just a glint of it left on the top, but that's us done. So, summary and conclusion. Well, on the negative side, I think we'll do the negative first. We failed to get it under 10 minutes for the PMV 11 heavy duty hard steel, and so that's the negative. The plus side is this. Okay, if we fill the float glass plate up with the steel, that's going to improve the efficiency and the speed of it no end. So you can safely say you could get the PMV 11 under 10 minutes there. I would think about 8 minutes once I put 5 pieces of that diamond plate on top. And the other thing about it is, if you don't have PMV 11 or these super hard steels, with the 01s, it isn't going to take you 5 minutes to finish those ones up. And one of the reasons I didn't really bother putting a little block plane blade onto the grinder was, if you take a look at the size of the blades there, guys, okay, it is a millimeter thicker, but it's going to eat it fairly fast, and that's no problem. One other thing, if you do get the float glass and it comes in a raw state where the edges are sharp, and it's really not the best way to get it, do get yourself one of these sharpal dual-edged files. Now, it goes quite fine. I think it goes down to 220, and it's got a 400 on the other side, which will just knock those sharp edges off the float glass before you use it. Well, that pretty much brings this video to the end. Other than that, one other thing there, and that is that the diamond plates that I purchased were 150 grit. Now you can go, and think I might go, instead of completing the run with another 3 plates, because they are only 7 inches long or just under, you can get them in 80 grit, and that might well drastically improve the speed at which you cut through the plain blade. Okay, now thanks for following me, and thanks for watching and putting up with watching all this hand grinding stuff. But hopefully the point got through. I'll leave the link in below for the Amazon plates anyway.